Hello and welcome. This is Notibot ENG. Good evening. I'm Anchorname, and this is a special news recap. We're bringing you live updates from the volatile region of the Middle East, where tensions between Iran and the United States have escalated to a boiling point. The Strait of Hormuz, a critical shipping lane for global oil supplies, has become a focal point of conflict. In the past 24 hours, Washington and Tehran have traded threats, with Iranian leaders vowing a crushing response. We'll take you through the latest developments in this complex situation. We're seeing a serious escalation in tensions between Iran and the U.S., as Washington and Tehran exchange increasingly aggressive warnings about the Strait of Hormuz. The situation in the Middle East continues to escalate, with tensions between Washington and Tehran reaching a boiling point. The United States has warned Iran of severe consequences if it attempts to disrupt the Strait of Hormuz, a critical waterway that connects the Persian Gulf to the ocean. Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, has been accused of being behind a series of attacks on oil tankers in the region. In response, the U.S. Navy has increased its presence in the area, with warships and aircraft deployed to deter any potential aggression. The IRGC, led by General Qasem Soleimani, has denied involvement in the attacks, but Western intelligence agencies have concluded that Tehran is behind the sabotage efforts. The U.S. has warned that if Iran attempts to attack shipping vessels or disrupt oil production, it will not hesitate to take action. The Strait of Hormuz is a vital artery for global energy supplies, with over 20% of the world's oil passing through it every day. Disrupting this flow would have significant economic and strategic implications, potentially leading to a major conflict in the region. The situation has sparked fears that war between the U.S. and Iran could break out at any moment. With tensions running high, the international community is holding its breath, waiting to see how this crisis will unfold. The United Nations Security Council has called for restraint and calm, but it remains to be seen if diplomacy can prevent a wider conflict in the region. Following a recent exchange of tensions between nations in the Middle East, Iran is now warning the U.S. about a potential military response. Iran has issued a stark warning to the United States, stating that any attempt to intervene in the Strait of Hormuz would be met with a decisive and crushing response. The threat comes from Yadallah Javani, Deputy Political Officer of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, who made the comments during a recent speech. The Strait of Hormuz is a vital waterway connecting the Persian Gulf to the Arabian Sea, and has been a source of tension between Iran and the U.S. in recent years. The conflict began after the U.S. assassination of top Iranian military commander Qasem Soleimani in January 2020, which Iran saw as an act of aggression. According to Javani, the U.S. is trying to open up the waterway by putting pressure on Iran, but will ultimately be defeated. He also claimed that the U.S. has lost its status as a superpower, stating that it has faced a superpower in Iran and will not be able to withstand its might. The comment from Javani has significant implications for the region, with many analysts warning of an escalating crisis between the two nations. The Strait of Hormuz is a critical choke point for global oil supplies, and any disruption to the waterway could have far-reaching consequences for the global economy. As tensions continue to escalate, it remains to be seen how the U.S. will respond to Iran's warnings. One thing is clear, however, the situation in the region has reached a boiling point, and only time will tell what the outcome will be. As tensions escalate with a potential U.S.-Iranian standoff, a top European official is warning Iran about the implications of blockading the strategic Strait of Hormuz. Germany's Chancellor Friedrich Merz has issued a stern warning to Iran over its recent actions in the Middle East. The strikes on the United Arab Emirates, including reported drone and missile attacks, have sparked widespread condemnation from the international community. Merz, who is visiting the region, condemned the attacks as strongly unacceptable and expressed solidarity with the people of the UAE and their partners in the region. He also made it clear that Germany will not stand idly by in the face of such aggression. The blockade of the Strait of Hormuz, a critical waterway through which a fifth of the world's oil passes, is a major point of contention between Iran and its regional adversaries. Merz warned Tehran that if it continued to pursue a nuclear program, Germany would not hesitate to take action to protect its interests and those of its allies. The situation in the region remains volatile, with tensions between Iran and its neighbors at an all-time high. The attacks on the UAE have raised concerns about the stability of the region and the potential for further escalation. Germany's position on the issue is clear. Tehran must return to negotiations and abandon its nuclear ambitions. Merz's comments are a stark reminder that the international community will not tolerate Iran's aggressive behavior and will take action to protect itself and its interests. The future of the region hangs in the balance, and it remains to be seen whether Iran will heed Germany's warnings or continue down a path of conflict. The United States and Iran's naval tensions continue to escalate, with President Trump making a claim about recent incidents in the strategic waterway. Donald Trump has downplayed the significance of recent attacks on oil tankers in the Strait of Hormuz, saying that Iran has taken some shots but caused little damage. The U.S. president made his comments during a meeting with South Korean leaders at Camp David, where they discussed North Korea's nuclear ambitions. The attacks on the tankers have raised tensions between the U.S. and Iran, with Washington accusing Tehran of being behind the incidents. Iranian officials have denied any involvement, but the U.S. has imposed sanctions on several Iranian entities in response to what it sees as a threat to global shipping. Trump's comments are seen as a sign that he is trying to calm tensions in the region, but they also risk downplaying the severity of the situation. The Strait of Hormuz is one of the most critical waterways in the world, with over 20% of the world's oil passing through it every day. The attacks on the tankers have highlighted the vulnerability of global shipping to terrorism and cyber attacks. They have also raised concerns about the impact on global energy markets and prices. The U.S. has a significant military presence in the region, but its ability to respond to the situation is seen as being limited by its withdrawal from international agreements, such as the Iran nuclear deal. The incident has sparked a diplomatic row between the U.S. and Iran, with both sides accusing each other of aggression. The situation remains fluid, with many questions still unanswered about who was behind the attacks and what their motivations were. Tensions escalate in the critical Persian Gulf region as a naval skirmish erupts between U.S. and Iranian forces in the Strait of Hormuz. We're coming to you live from New York, where tensions between the United States and Iran have escalated in the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump announced a new initiative yesterday morning, aimed at guiding commercial vessels through this critical shipping lane. According to reports, starting Monday, U.S. military forces will provide escort services for tankers and other ships passing through the strait. The move is seen as an attempt by the U.S. to reduce its dependence on Iranian-supplied oil, which has been a key point of contention between the two nations. Iran's government responded swiftly, warning that it would fire on any ships that did not coordinate with its military. This threat comes just months after a series of attacks on oil tankers in the region, which Iran blamed on U.S. forces. The situation is volatile and raises concerns about the potential for miscalculation or accident. As one expert noted, this is a textbook example of how to escalate a conflict. With both sides dug in, it's difficult to predict what will happen next. Why does this matter? The Strait of Hormuz is one of the world's most critical shipping lanes, and any disruption could have far-reaching consequences for global energy markets. With oil prices already under pressure due to the ongoing Ukraine conflict, a sudden closure of the strait would be catastrophic. We'll continue to follow this developing story and bring you updates as more information becomes available. That's all for tonight's news recap. We'll continue to bring you updates on the escalating tensions between Iran and the U.S. If you'd like to stay up to date on these developing stories, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.